We're making a classic pound cake today. Welcome to Help at Home, your resource for great recipes and easy learning. I'm Jim Hightower. Today we're making a classic pound cake, and you won't believe how simple the ingredients really are. So grab your pen and paper. Here come the ingredients. And to start with, you'll need to preheat your oven to 300 degrees. You'll need 1 cup soft butter, that's 2 sticks, 1 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 4 large eggs, 1 3/4 cups flour, and 1/4 teaspoon baking powder. And it's just that simple. You know the drill. The first thing we need to do is prepare our pan. This happens to be a single bread loaf pan. You've seen it before. And melt our butter, put in about a hefty tablespoon of flour for 2 tablespoons of melted butter. We got our 1-step prepare the pan. You mix the flour and butter, baste that in, and it saves the flour, and also it saves a lot of mess. So you know this drill, you just baste it all around. If you're new to cooking, you might be asking yourself, why do we prepare the pan? Why do you put all that butter and flour in there? Well, the answer is simple. You want what you put into the pan to come out of the pan. Alright, first things first, we start with our softened butter, which you could melt it or set it out for about an hour. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, classic pound cake recipes were weird. The name comes from the fact that you had a pound of each of the main ingredients. Nowadays we use about half a pound. But you start with this butter, and it's said to cream it for a minute or a minute and a half, and then to mix in the sugar over 10 minutes. Really? I don't see a need for that, and I'm not going to put you through that. And you just let it mix for a couple of minutes. Really, a couple of minutes is more than enough, especially with a big stand mixer like Big Red. You'll notice it's turned the butter practically white. Then we mix in a teaspoon of vanilla. And in fact, if you want to give it just a little bit more, it's hard to go wrong with vanilla. Just don't pour the whole bottle in. Stir in your vanilla. Now here's an interesting side note. You've got your 4 whole eggs here, and the recipe says mix each egg in for 1.5 minutes. Really? I doubt it. So I'm going to go, and I will start by mixing in 1 egg. But honestly, I don't think it's necessary to do each one individually. I'll just use this egg to loosen things up. Then I'll slow down, go to number 2. Let it break up the yolk. And 3 and 4. Super easy. Now again, I'll let this go for about a minute, maybe 2. Okay, there's our 2 minutes, and you'd be surprised how soft it is, and it's not as thick as I expected it to be. Now, I think that's part of that mixing it a long time business. At this point, I would say if you didn't have one of these handy scrape your bowl paddle attachments, again, thank you Oklahoma Droner for that Christmas present. It's been wonderful. Scrape the bottom and sides of your bowl. But if you have one of these scraping paddle attachments, you don't have to. Yay! Next, I've got my flour with my baking powder in it, and I'm just going to slowly mix it in. Now, as I said, a classic pound cake is a very thick mixture, so that's why you want a stand mixer or a pretty powerful hand mixer here, especially once you've got the flour in. Notice there's no milk, there's no water, it's just the butter. That's it. Alright, you can give this to your child, your spouse, they'll enjoy that. Okay, we have our prepared pan, and in she goes. Now, if you have a little bit of flour on the side, just fold it in, and you're good to go. And it smells so good. How can anything with a cup of butter not be good? My diabetics are on the sideline saying, you just hold on, I'll get to you in a minute. Spread this in, the edges. You can do the shimmy and shake. Ooh, and you have to do this. Oh my gosh. Oh, slap your mama good. Diabetics, it's your turn. For my favorite diabetics, you can absolutely make this too. You'll need half a cup of that Splenda Sugar Blend. Remember, it's hard to make things for diabetics with 100% sugar-free sweeteners because you need the sugar for browning things and also to help with texture a little bit. And then of course taste doesn't hurt either. One more thing that's unique about this recipe as compared to a modern pound cake recipe is that it specifies 300 degrees as opposed to 350 in modern recipes. So that long, slow bake can still give you a nice tender cake. Into your 300 degree oven, middle rack, push it back for 60 minutes to even an hour and a half. All ovens are different, but I would check it at about 50 minutes. Use your toothpick, use a silver knife. If it comes out clean, it's done. If you still have some raw batter, you need to put it back in, and then I would check it every 5 to 10 minutes till it does come out clean. Here it is out of the oven, and it's been cooling for about 12 minutes. And as you can see, it's starting to separate from the sides. I did test it with a toothpick, which came out clean. Now, even though it comes away from the sides, it's always best practice to slide a knife, a butter knife, around the sides carefully. Then you can do the easy flip method with 2 cooling racks. You can flip that over and take that off. Then flip once again. Ta-da! Now, I would let this, there you go. Now you know the drill about cakes. They need to cool off for 30 minutes to an hour, recompose themselves, and then when you go to slice it, they won't fall apart. That's a tip, write that one down. I want to give a special shout out to one of my great friends, Lloyd Mendenhall, the Grumpy Vlogger. Go check his channel out. He's a great guy. For Christmas, he gave me a very special 1950 Betty Crocker cookbook, first edition, second printing, and it just happened to be his mother's cookbook. So that's very special to me, and this recipe came right from that cookbook. So there you go. And thank you, Lloyd. This is a wonderful recipe. If you like this recipe for classic pound cake, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and share with your friends who like to cook or just want to learn how. Drop me a line in the comments below about your experiences with this recipe and what else you'd like to see in the kitchen. Click the bell in the top right hand corner for notifications. I'm Jim Hightower, and remember, everyone needs help. Even me. Welcome to Help at Home. I can't do this. Welcome to Help at Home. I can't. Today we're making a classic. What? And you won't realize. Flopper. Finally, flopper. Into your 300-degree oven for 60 minutes to. Flopper. Bye-bye.